Okay, well, my heater's not working. It's not blowing hot air. And I know there's a problem with the blend door or the blend, something in that system, because no matter what I turn the temperature selector to, the air temperature coming out's the same. So there's the blend door in there that, or the, not the blend door, but the door, yeah, I guess the blend door that mixes hot and cold air together. Either the door is broken off of the little motor that moves it, or the motor ain't working. So the first thing you have to do is figure out what the problem is. And so to do that, so to figure it out, you've got to get this cover off, because the little motor is up in here somewhere. So it looks like these little push pins. And this is not the way to do it, but I don't have a push pin tool. Let's see if this works. It's really cheap, but I'm not going to buy it right now because I can just replace these. This is the actual motor, but let's go to the other side and remove the pins over there. All right. This off. Okay, so this is a 10 millimeter. Okay, so this is an 8 millimeter. So it becomes interesting because now you got to switch from a long socket to a short one. I got one of these. I got an 8 millimeter ratcheting wrench. Because basically, I don't want to have to take this out if I don't have to. Okay, now I gotta try and see what else is holding this thing in. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can see that, but right there, see that? So there is one on the back. See, I really need to get this thing out, and there's, God. The next thing we have to do is move, I think this is the computer. Anyway, we got to get this thing out of the way. Let me go over there and figure out how this thing comes out. Okay. So I just kind of pulled it. So y'all saw that, I just kind of wiggled it. So now this is what we're after. Okay, now this should just drop down if I understand things correctly. Okay, so we've got it all disconnected. There we go. All right. All that work was for this. So if you've been watching other YouTube videos, you've probably seen it, but this is what could go wrong, this motor. So we need to see when we turn the key on and adjust the temperature settings if this moves or not. Okay, so it appears that is the problem. All right, so you can watch this and this. When the key is on and then you can feel the wind blowing. When you adjust this temperature thing, that should move. So I'm going hot. So nothing's moving. So luckily for me, that's the problem. So let me order that part and we'll come back. Okay, it's a couple days later. I got my replacement in, which looks to be the same thing. So just has a tab right here you push in. Now turn the system on and see if it works. I don't know if y'all can see that little thing down there, but cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all the way to cold. So I'm pretty sure that's where it's stuck. And you can see it's keyed, so it'll only go one way. There, that's slid up there. Now we just put it back together. What I'm doing is I'm just getting these all started. And then you come back around and do the rest of them. Snug is plenty good enough. This is all plastic, coarse thread, so not hard to strip it. One more time while I got it apart. Okay, I can hear it. I can hear it moving. So now the next step is to put the vent in. All right, I ended up finally getting it in. And what I did is I came in this way. So I came in and kind of like basically at this angle right here. So I came in and then over like this. I was able to get it this far. Well, y'all ain't seeing anything, so let me fight this and we'll come back. All right, it's in there. Don't ask me what I did. I've just been sitting there just kind of wiggling it around and it kind of just fell into place. So, oh, this is that one. God. I remember you. Took 3 different combinations of sockets to get it on. Yeah. Now, before I tighten it down, I'm gonna go to the other side real quick and put that one in. Basically, I just have to pull this out. Let's see how this goes. Like, that, assuming. Okay, so now we have to do is put the decorative cover on, which would be this. So, guess what I'm talking about. See, if I make this thing easy to take off by using one of these removable clips, that'll pretty much guarantee I don't have to take it off. This thing right here, it goes in right there. There we go. There we go. See? Okay, I want to go over this procedure where it's a little easier to understand what you're doing here. So the first thing you're going to be doing, this is on the floorboard. You have to remove this cover. So there's a snap here, and a snap on this side. And it's these things, these little plastic push pins. Now, if you have a body panel tool, you can stick in there and pop these out. I just pulled them out. This one pulled out, and the other two I cut because I have a whole box of these things. They're super cheap. And if you work on cars a lot, you break them. So but you want to get this thing out of the way. So once you've got this out of the way, the next thing you'll be looking at, this is what you're trying to get to, but the ducting goes right here, and you have to pull this out. Now, to pull this out, you have to, basically, you have to pull this down, because this is like the vent for your feet. The air comes down, and blows out both ways, right? Well, to get this out, the vent comes down on the inside of this, and it's like this. So to be able to take this, to get this thing out of the way, it has to come up. Or you have to be able to basically pull it down like this and then slide it out. So you can't go this way because it's captured by the vent or the tube that's bringing air to it. So you have to kick it down. Now the problem is you can't kick it down because right under here is the computer, which is that silver thing you see. It looks like a hard drive hanging there. So once you've gotten this cover off, the next step, remove the computer, get it out of the way. Once it's out of the way, you can access there's this nut way back here, which is an absolute pain to get to, but that's on the video. And then over here, there's this one right there, and I believe this one. So there's 1, 2, 3 from memory. It'll be in the video you've already watched, but let's just go over it. So once you pop this out, because this is sitting right here, once you get this out of the way, then this falls down. There's 3 screws, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. This is not a screw, this is like a tab. So pull this down and put the new one in, rinse, repeat, and reverse. So now if you have to actually, another common problem is if this is working, then the actual blend door, the thing that fits on here, is broken off. And that's a different repair, which I haven't had to do yet, but that one's not as hard. You take the glove compartment off, cut a hole, then you can reach in there, put a new door in there, and then you put basically the axle that thing captures, you stick it up from underneath. But there's videos showing that. This was going to show you how to do this part. I was going to show you how to do this if I had to, but I don't, so this is where I'm stopping. But honestly, if you get this far, the rest of it's gravy, because I helped somebody do that before. That is nothing compared to this. And this isn't hard. The issue with this is, look, if you're about 5 feet tall and 90 pounds, you're not going to have a problem. But I ain't either one of those. So it's just getting to everything. It's all, and plus I got a manual, it's even worse. You got this big stick in the way. And if you had a 4x4, it'd be kind of a complicated too. If you got a 2-wheel drive automatic, it'd be a lot easier without this stick in the way. But, well, it's about 3 weeks later since I've done it, and the repair's working fine. I can go between hot and cold. And if you live in Texas like me, you know, one day it's 30, next day it's 90. And so that little knob gets a workout certain times during the year. And I said it in the video, I believe, but by far the hardest part's getting that vent out behind this valence, wherever that valence cover is. And there's something else that I don't know if the footage got deleted or what, but you can see there's a piece of foam right there, and that's holding up that vent, because when I push that vent in, the bracket on the back side that gets screwed in there broke. So I've only got one screw. There's a screw over here in the front, and then there was one over here in the back, and the one in the back, the bracket snapped off. So I mean, the vent was sitting there fine, but what I did is I just put a piece of pipe insulation foam to hold this up so it comes directly out of this little hole. So if you got any questions about it, put in the comments. There's a bunch of YouTube videos that I really tried my best to get some good camera angles and film it, but it is just so hard filming in the cab of this little tiny truck. So I did the best I could and hope it helps somebody. See ya.